very sweet on the corners. That pitch was elevated. It was right over the white of the plate, and you just can't throw it there because it's going to get hit hard. And so I'm sure coach is coming out and saying, look, throw that drop ball at the knees and let it work down. That one is mid-thigh. It's on the white instead of half on, half off. And it was an 0-1 pitch.
That was Lauren Krings getting loose. Here's Bailey Goddard. Just 3 at-bats in her last 6 games, getting the start out in right field today. Yesterday was Avery Gels.
Missouri pulled up with Schumacher being a drop ball pitcher, looking to scoop something up on the dirt.
And that will get through, and Florida will tie it up. RBI single for Bailey Goddard.
Well, and the key to keeping the infield in is you have the opportunity to go at home. But the problem is when you are in, you also give up through the gap. And so you can see, because Jenna Laird is pulled up, this is typically a routine ground ball that now gets past her. And Florida's going to play to run.
Three hits in a row coming towards the bottom of their order. This is Sarah Longley in the 8th spot. First and third situation.
You know, I really feel like a big part of Florida's offensive success the past few games, ever since they were in that Missouri series, is Amanda Lorenz moving from the first base coach's box to inside the dugout. They made that change during the Missouri series, and it just seems like they've been on a roll ever since they made that change. And think about it, she just got done playing. She has a respect of every single person on that team. She's a 4-time All-American. Coach Walton called her the home run whisperer. And she's gonna say good things to these hitters to make them feel the most confident, make them feel like they have the best plan walking to the batter's box to have success.
She's been on these fields, has a SEC tournament title, the MVP honor a couple years back for Amanda.
And look, just right in the ear of Hannah Adams.
Off the end of the bat, Longley. They're going to have a play at the plate. They've got Matthews hung up, and they record the out at third. Kim Wirt was all set to go to first with the ball, and then turned and looked and saw Matthews trotting right by her, and made the play to the plate.
So Mizzou doing a good job of picking up Matthews going home. And really the key too for Missouri is that they run a well-executed run down, because they run her back to third. They don't run her toward home, but also they keep the Gators at first and second instead of second and third. So that's a defensive win for Missouri.
Florida denied the go-ahead run at the plate. And heads up from Kim Wirt. Here's Cheyenne Lindsay in the 9th spot in the lineup. Junior out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lindsay laces one to left. Bases will be loaded here for Florida. And the top of the order coming up.
So interested, you guys, in what Hannah Adams is going to do in this at-bat. You saw Amanda Lorenz talking to her right in her ear, probably coming up with a game plan, talking to her about her last at-bat whenever she grounded out to first base.
So the bases are loaded. And after that hit, guys, had Matthews held at third, they would have had a run up.
Another base running mistake that ends up costing them a run.
Adams will try and pick up her teammate here. Boy, same result as her first at-bat. They get one across, could have been a whole lot more. We're even through 2.
nothing better.
In the regular season, the Arkansas Razorbacks, they have had an extra inning win. They have had a 1-0 win courtesy of a late home run. And they have been the recipient of a remarkable pitching display so far from Ashley Rogers, who has thrown nearly 300 pitches in 2 games and struck out 25. And the big question for Tennessee, will they go with Rogers a 3rd day in a row? She's been ailing a little bit with a bad finger and a bad back. And who will start for the Tide? Do they go right back to Montana Fouts?
I think both of those clubs need to make sure they have a number 2 ready when they get to regional. So I think it could be Lexi Kilfoyle. Crystal Goodman has been very good as of late when Kilfoyle was injured for Bama. And I don't know, Tennessee, it'll be interesting. I think with Rogers, if she was healthy, I think we would potentially see her. But I think Callie Turner, maybe an opportunity to get her some innings.
Alabama probably set to stay home for the regionals and the supers as long as they keep winning when the selection committee announces their decisions Sunday night. Tennessee have 2 wins here, gotten them locked into a host position. Maybe so, and that's bobbled it short by Longley. Hattie Moore aboard with 1 out. Longley not coming in on this.
Well, Longley backed up on the previous play, and on this one she backs up again. She probably needs to go get this. She needs to be aggressive, go get the ball, because even if she would have caught this would have been a very long throw across the infield. Bobble charged an error.
Right back to Hightower. You heard her teammates yelling 2, and that's where she goes with it to get the lead runner 2 down. Good communication by this Florida D.
Yeah, their defense is just so sound, and it communicates very well. They were yelling 2 all the way. Sarah Longley had a really good look at that, understanding where the runner was, how the play was developing, communicating to let Hightower know she had a chance.
Longley, the sophomore, taking over at short. Last 4 years, we've enjoyed the glove love of Sophia Reynoso for the Gators. And now Longley's turn out of Royal Palm Beach, Florida.
That was just her 5th error of the year. It's one of the things about the Gators. When it was one of the top fielding teams in the country. Tim Walton spends the lion's share of his time really working reps, making sure that he's got a good D behind his pitching staff.
Worked 67 miles an hour from Hightower there. It's 2-2 with 2 outs. That's deep in the hole. Long way to go for Longley, who lost her footing, and Wirt will leg it out. So an error just a moment ago, and now a slip here on the plant leg.
Yeah, it's a ball that just takes her so far up the hole and or in the hole, and she goes to plant. You saw it, that dirt kick up, didn't get good footing, not able to push off of that right leg to get anything on this throw.
Well, and I thought that Shoma was running very well, so wasn't an opportunity to go the short way to pick up the out. Had to go across the infield, which I don't think she would have gotten Wirt anyway, since it was such a deep hit into the 5-6 hole.
Remnants there of one that got away in the infield dirt. Oh, it looked like they were going to get through the inning relatively easy, but an error and then a fielder's choice. I think they're going to score that a single for Wirt, and now 2 on with 2 out. Here's Kessinger, the home run hitter from yesterday for Missouri. Singled in the first.
Yeah, this home run was so pretty yesterday, Michelle. Or on Thursday, I don't even, wait, today's Friday. Anyway, beautiful swing, and gosh, I love, like, there's just nothing prettier than a beautiful left-handed swing for power.
Boy, I wonder if Tim just saw that replay, because he's going out to have a little talk, make sure.
Hey, let's not throw it there, please.
Well, she's been falling behind in this game, and Missouri hasn't had that one big hit. You know, they have 4 hits on the board, 1 run on the board, but continues to fall behind and not looking like she has a ton of command today.
Yeah, they don't have a hit with a runner in scoring position. They're 0 for 4, and they have had opportunities all 3 innings. Kessinger, by the way, also homered off of Hightower in the regular season when the Gators were winning 2 of 3. They actually took game 2 10-2 in 5 innings. It is the most runs scored on the Gators this year. It is their only run rule loss of the season.
Well, and I think in this situation with 2 outs, you try to expand the zone. And if you have to go after Robbie, you go after Robbie.
And look at this. Bases loaded. And it is Emma Robbie who hit into a double play in the second. Junior from Omaha. As the shadow from the light stanchion creeps across the batter's box. Robbie just out in front.
And you can tell they want to be aggressive on that arm side of Hightower. She's going to work that screwball at different planes in the inside corner, these right-handed hitters. And I think what helps her out too, you guys, is that Coach Walton said at the beginning of the year, not only will she mix planes, but she's able to vary her speeds a bit, anywhere between 61 and 67 miles an hour on that side of the plate. Try to throw off their timing. But Missouri is being so selective, such good plate discipline, and they're confident in their takes too. They're not unsure, they're seeing the ball really well, making her come more on the plate.
Trying to take advantage of rare uncertainty from the Florida defense. In foul territory. Just out of the reach of Goddard. As Missouri has loaded the bases here with just one hit in the inning.
Haley Goddard going a long way. Nice effort, knowing that that is a huge potential third out of the inning with the bases loaded. Just off the tip of the glove as she slides into the wall.
Robbie's batting .750 this year with the bases loaded. 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
She's thrown a lot of pitches, 62 pitches, and we're not even out of the third inning.
Well, you can tell Missouri's game plan. The righties are looking in, the lefties are looking out.
Right back to Hightower, and she'll underhand it over to first. So both teams have left the bases loaded once today in a 1-1 game.
When people ask me, what's a papadilla? I say it's juicy meats and melty cheese folded in crispy flatbread. But my mouth's always full of papadilla, so I don't think they heard me. Try one for just $6. Better ingredients, better pizza. Better than a sandwich.
Experience capability, crafted by Lexus. The remarkable GX and LX.
Lease the 2021 GX 460 for $529 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Place your legal sports bets at BetRivers.com, your new home for sports betting. Millions of betting options a year on the sports you love. We offer live in-game betting on major sporting events worldwide. We have tons of bets available during games, from money lines, point spreads, prop bets, play-by-play bets, and many more. BetRivers.com offers live streaming of events worldwide. That's right, you can bet on the game as you're watching. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, more action, more fun. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com.
Take it wherever, with whomever. This is the no-holds-barred multi-purpose vehicle with the capacity to take life on and the audacity to say, what else you got? Introducing the all-new Kia Carnival MPV.
We got a quadruple header for you tomorrow of championship games on Championship Saturday, leading into the selection show Sunday night. It all gets underway, the ACC noon. Clemson, the regular season champs. Valerie Cagle topped Keely Rochard today, and Clemson beat Virginia Tech. They are moving on. Oklahoma State, a big win over Texas today. Oklahoma is in front of Baylor 9-2. And also out of the ACC, Duke right now a 2-1 lead on Florida State in the fourth inning. Is that going to be a Clemson-Duke ACC final? Holy smokes. The newbies. Top 25 wins. Only Texas has fewer amongst the teams that are being considered. But bear in mind, Duke is not one of the 20 finalists to host. They have a higher RPI than Clemson, but they will not be a host. Wilkie skies this one to the left side. One down. Are you ready for some football, folks? Because we got some for you. Sunday afternoon, 2 Eastern on ABC. Sam Houston State and South Dakota State for the Division I FCS Championship. It's the top 2 seeds tussling for the title. Folks, out in the Brickyard, a lovely day today for softball. A lot of Crimson Tide fans out there. This is their home turf at the Rhodes House. And coming up next, Alabama and Tennessee. Tide are rolling. They've won 11 straight, have not lost since these Florida Gators beat them on April 18th.
So here's my question. Wilkie just popped up to the shortstop on a 3-0 count. Ooh, do you think she had the green light, or was that a freshman mistake? Because you could lead off the inning. And
I'm going to vote
Eccles,
mistake with these two hit swingers coming up here.
That's my point.
Yeah. Little anxious?
Or not knowing the count.
So you just hid your adamant statement behind a question.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you. No, you don't.
The band is back
You've
together.
You've got an observation for us. Eccles. And that's why you didn't want her swinging at a 3-0 pitch if you're batting before her. Base knock for Charla.
Well, look at the change of this, you guys. Wilkie swings at the 3-0, pops up to shortstop. Eccles gets this pitch on an 0-2 count, able to get enough of it to drive it to the outfield, but 0-2, way too sweet for Charla Eccles. Way too sweet for anybody, even for sure Charla Eccles. Look at the location.
Yeah, and Schumacher's a sophomore, so you expect some youth mistakes, but still, you have to be able to locate your pitches way better than that. To me, the first thing you have to do as a pitcher is be able to put the ball at the knees on the corners. And if you can't do that, you shouldn't be throwing anything but a fastball. And if you can dial in those locates, it's much harder to hit locates than a drop ball that's fat and elevated.
This is Kendall Lindemann. A 1 pitch. Lindemann launches one, headed for the scoreboard, and over it. 2-run home run. And the 2 Gator hitters you cannot let beat you just did. Eccles gets on, Lindemann brings her in.
Kendall Lindemann has been so hot as of late. The power numbers are returning a 300-plus batting average, her 8th home run of the year. And look at the location of this pitch. It is above the knee. It is on the plate. And this is just a spot you cannot throw the ball to Lindemann if you want to keep it in the yard.
Second of the tournament for Lindemann. Boy, and I know being precise and hitting the corners, it's a lot easier said than done, but isn't that on the top? You and Eric Freed were talking about this yesterday. Isn't that on the top of your scouting report?
Yes.
Do not give anything meaty to those 2 batters.
Yep.
Pitching change. Back in a moment.
When people ask me, what's a papadilla? I say it's juicy meats and melty cheese folded in crispy flatbread. But my mouth's always full of papadilla, so I don't think they hurt me. Try one for just $6. Better ingredients, better pizza. Better than a sandwich.
Stay restless with the icon that does the same. The RX, crafted by Lexus.
Lease the 2021 RX 350 for $439 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Every Sunday night, it's baseball for all of us.
I am so excited. Let's play 2. Lays out and makes the catch. Hey, see ya.
Give us the Cardinals and the Padres on Sunday Night Baseball. Sunday at 7 on ESPN. Telecast presented by Taco Bell.
2 1/3 innings work for Megan Schumacher, the 7 hits. The big one, the Kendall Lindemann 2-run home run just a moment ago. Hence the pitching change to Lauren Krings here and a 3-1 Florida lead. She will face Jamie Hoover. Singled and scored her last time up. Seven hits already through the first 2 1/3 for the Gators. They're adapting, they're adjusting. They decided, you know what, we're not looking for the comeback. We want the lead today. The versatility of this team. Amanda Lauren Krings is familiar with this lineup, saw him twice during the regular season.
Yeah, she'll throw a ton of rise balls. That's what Florida saw in their last outing whenever they went up against her. She'll mix in a great changeup. Also mix in a curve, and she's the best strikeout pitcher on staff, says Coach Anderson. There was a good velocity too, 70 miles an hour.
Winner moves into the SEC championship game tomorrow night against either Tennessee or Alabama.
There's that change.
What is going on, by the way, for this Florida offense? Look at the power numbers, Scarborough.
It's a home run whisperer.
Oh, it's
Amanda Lorenz and Mandy Softball. I mean, which name are you going to go with?
Mandy
here?
Softball's by far her best, I think. You said that they thought she was the best strikeout pitcher. Oh, there's one.
Yeah.
2 down.
It's nice to be able to have a strikeout pitcher to come in after a home run and just kind of grab back the momentum. Looks like a curveball, grabs a lot of the plate, but it had a little bit of up spin to it as well. Gets that swing and miss.
Jordan Matthews, who doubled Oppo her first time up, and then was out at home trying to score on a grounder to the left side of the infield.
You know what I was just thinking about? Lindemann must love hitting on this field. Grand slam against Alabama in the regular season. Opposite field home run yesterday. Home run today. Just comfortable here. And wasn't she on that Minnesota team that played in the regional here whenever Minnesota didn't get the national seed?
Yes.
Michelle's like, no. You're like, yes.
Don't take us there. Don't take us down that rabbit hole.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much history at this
So
place.
much.
It's in the Rhodes House, and another strikeout for Krings. After the home run, she quiets him down. We're going to chat with Larissa Anderson on the other side, see what's happening for Missouri. They're in a little bit of trouble right now. They are down 2 because of the sweet swinging Kendall Lindemann. Bringing in her buddy Charlotte Eccles. Having some fun in the dugout with her mates. How's over the scoreboard, ladies?
So, you said only we at Left Twix could put cookies and cream in Twix? This is a right Twix.
Excuse me.
Twix, cookies and cream.
Back to the SEC on ESPN. SEC tournament, 3-1 Florida over Missouri here in the semis. Larissa Anderson, the head coach of the Tigers, now on the headset with us.
And Coach, you have 4 hits off of Hightower. You left the bases loaded last inning. What adjustments do you need to make to put some more runs up on the board?
I mean, we're getting the runners on, and we're getting runners in scoring position. We got to swing at better pitches when we're in those situations.
Krings came in, a couple of strikeouts and some swings and misses out of her. What should we expect out of her the rest of the way?
I mean, we're going to continue to try to keep them off balance, throwing a lot of change-ups, working both sides of the plate, and hopefully continue to get some of those swings and misses.
All right, thank you very much, Larissa.
My pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Coach.
They played in the finals back in 2013. Actually, were beaten by Florida on that day. Their one and only trip to the championship game. They beat LSU yesterday in the quarters. It was their first win in the tournament in 6 seasons. On a mission this year to win that first SEC title. Never out of a game with the kind of home run power that they have. We may get a look at that later in the inning. It's 8-9 and then the top as they find themselves after the early 1-0 lead, now down a couple runs, courtesy of a Kendall Lindemann home run. Change at first base for the Gators. And that is replacing Lindemann, by the way, who is able to re-enter. But that's Avery Gels. Defensive substitution here. Outside the bag at third.
After giving up that home run, see how Missouri responds offensively. You always like your team to come out and put a little pressure back on. Get punched in the face, you want to punch right back.
Two pitch here for Hightower. Got out of the bases loaded jam in the third inning. Blocked in the dirt, full count. Championship Saturday tomorrow. The selection show, 9 Eastern, Sunday night. And then this time next weekend, we are playing regionals, folks. We'll have the coverage for you throughout as Bailey draws the walk. As we wind down the mayhem, the WNBA just getting it cranked up. Opening day, 25th season. And we've got a doubleheader for you on ABC. Chicago, Washington at 1 Eastern, and Las Vegas and Seattle. Little Sue Bird and Stewie action for you, the defending champs, at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. And while the Gators will make the pitching change here to Chronister, we'll take the quick timeout. Be back in a moment.
How great is it that we get to tell everybody how Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need? I mean, uh-oh, sorry. Oh, what? Moo! No, buddy.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
For those who love peanut butter and those who want to get married to peanut butter, I now pronounce
walking Kendall Bailey a second time, and now the 9-hitter coming up. The pitching change to Katie Chronister here.
Well, it's just a little bit of change of pace. I mean, I think a lot of times it just comes down to the mentality, thinking the game, understanding the game, slowing it down, not swinging at a 3-0 pitch. Your team puts a 2-run, bomb up on the board, not walking the next batter at the lower half of the lineup. It's all those little things that coach, wants you to work on. And Chronister, the lefty, is going to come in and use that really good movement that she has and try to keep a strong Missouri free-swinging team off balance.
And not uncommon, really, Amanda. They've only got 15 complete games all season. They have used their entire staff to date. Pulled to first. And right there to step on the bag is Gels, one down.
Well, and I think as the season has gone on, they've really started to understand more and more when they can use certain pitchers and when to throw to their strengths. More Katie Chronister coming in from the left-hand side, going to be more down the zone, work her curveball and her drop ball. Throws with good velocity from the left-hand side too, and is very comfortable with coming in relief and pitching late in the game.
Another one to the right side to at least advance the runner, 2 down, and Bailey now at third. And that'll bring up Jenna Laird. 1 for 2, singled in the first. Beth Mullins, Michelle Smith, Amanda Scarborough with you. Our semifinal Friday afternoon at the Rhodes House. The late Ann Rhodes recently passed away. She and her husband, huge Alabama softball fans, put their name on the stadium, and it has turned into one of the spectacular facilities in all of college softball, hosting the entire SEC family this week. Laird's better than 400 hitting with runners in scoring position and with 2 outs. Won't get it done this time. Another one left on base. And a 3-1 Gator lead.
If the peanut butter in a Reese's could talk to the chocolate, what would it say? You complete.
Trying to slay some giants at the SEC tournament. And they've been the comeback kids and the rally cappers all year long. A little different approach today, getting on the board early. Scarborough in the 3-1 lead on 7 hits, including the Linda Mintater.
I forget at times that you know my first name. I just start to think that my first name with you is Scarborough.
You know what I've noticed? I tend to do that with a lot of people. I call them by their last name.
When you say Amanda, I'm like, who is she talking to?
I put an A. I put an A on the end of your name, Scarborough. Amanda, a stud at Texas A&M. Helped the Aggies get into the championship series at the World Series not too long ago. I won't mention any years. I'll leave that open for you. And of course, Michelle Smith with the 2 gold medals that she wears wherever she goes. Fingers crossed that things are going to be okay in Tokyo and we're going to be able to play this summer at the Olympics. Team USA with a smattering of SEC players on the roster.
Quite a few Gators.
Yeah.
Michelle Moultrie, Kelsey Stewart,
Aubrey Monroe.
Aubrey Monroe, the catcher. Pretty good pitcher from Tennessee on that team, too.
Abbott?
There you go. We got to get the goal back. Japan took it the last time.
Yes, they did.
And their pitcher is still around, believe it or not. What, 12 years later? Still Kiko Ueno?
Yukiko Ueno, yep. And she's got a couple other really good teammates, pitchers they've developed over the years that have helped them out. Eddie Yamada, their home run hitting center fielder, is back as well.
How about the pitching here of Lauren Kring? She's come on and retired the first 3 she's faced. She's struck them all out.
Yeah, this curveball looks so good. 3 strikeouts in a row, as you mentioned, being able to mix up in the zone, mix her curveball. I'm seeing really good changeup too, Michelle.
I'm actually a little surprised she did not get the start.
Yeah, me too. Same.
Sarah Longley reached on a fielder's choice back in the 2nd. This is the bottom of the Gators lineup. A run in the 2nd, 2 more in the 3rd after Missouri grabbed the lead in the top of the 1st inning. Freshman from Loveland, Colorado, 2-time Prep Colorado Player of the Year. Terrific recruiting class, the youngsters that Larissa Anderson and her staff brought in. Ooh.
Looked like a nice little pitch on the outside
Yeah,
corner
Michelle
as well.
Smith, she's always going to lean towards the pitchers.
Absolutely. Come on.
That was nice.
Always
though.
trying to expand that zone.
He can hit it when it's in the river. Come on.
Wow, 4 strikeouts in a row.
And Krings is using all of her tools in her toolbox. She's using her curveball. She's using her changeup. Look at the way this pitch is going to dive down. It starts at the top of the knee and just dumps down in the zone, and how she sells it. Really good explosion through the snap, and because of that, that's what the eye of the hitter is seeing, that really velocity of the arm, and then that ball just dumps down through the zone.
You know, you guys, she made an adjustment in her windup in the middle of the season and did it to where she wasn't going to lean so far over, stay a little bit more upright, and Coach Larissa Anderson said it made a just night and day change in her consistency.
Cheyenne Lindsay got under. Tuesday night at 10 Eastern, catch a special edition of SEC Inside. You'll get a behind-the-scenes look at the semis and the championship game of this year's softball tournament. SEC Inside on SEC Network, Tuesday night, 10 Eastern, on the ESPN app. Not only the selection show, by the way, Sunday night, but a special edition of the 7 Innings podcast, TV version coming up after the show, 9 Eastern and 10 Eastern. That'll be on ESPNU Sunday night. And then we are off and running. Our favorite thing to do this time of year is try and figure out where we're headed for the regionals and the supers. Driving our bosses crazy.
Does somebody,
the matchups talking.
Is there somebody that campaigns a lot for certain places in this group of 3 of us?
Somebody or who does it more?
More.
I may or may not have a bat phone straight to the programming department, but I will not ever take any pictures of that to post on social media.
Is it a corded phone?
It's a red one, just like the old 1960s Batman TV series. Oh, Lindsay thought about that rise, held off at 70 miles an hour. Oh, we've seen some really good pitching, some really good strikeout pitching. Ashley Rogers twice, double-digit Ks. And last night, Montana Fouts tied the, tied the SEC tournament record with 15 in a single game.
Yeah, but it was 15 in a 10-inning game.
Yes. And Fouts did it in 7.
Yes.
Slapped right at Emma Robbie. 3 up and 3 down for the bottom of the order. And a 3-1 Florida lead. It's time to talk to Tim, Coach Walton, when we come back.
Here's a little question for you. Why are there interstate highways in Hawaii?
Yo, I was wondering, why does quicksand work so slowly?
They should call it then slow sand.
Shouldn't the word ambiguous have more than one meaning?
What if we made the
Stay here in Tuscaloosa for our semifinals. First one, 3-1 Gators right now over Missouri as we head to the top of the 5th, and we've got Tim Walton with us on the headset.
And Coach, what makes Kendall Lindemann such a good hitter?
Well, you know, I think that her ability to keep the bat in the strike zone, whether it's a slow pitch, a high pitch, low pitch, in and out, she's got a pretty good swing. You know, I've talked about the beginning of the season. It's one of the best right-handed swings I've coached. You know, she has a little bit of a, power lull here in the past probably 2 months compared to Kendall Lindemann standards, but she's still a pretty dang good hitter.
And Krana Sturge is so good in relief. What is it about her? Why is it that you feel like she is good in relief for you guys?
Well, we typically try to find the right matchup to get her into the game, to get her settled, and then once she gets settled, she's able to spin and use the dirt and get our defense get active. So, a lot of it's matchup, but most of it's stuff. Her stuff's really, when she's rolling over that that drop ball, she does a good job and do some ground balls.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Talked about finding a good place, a good matchups for her to come into the game. When she came in, she got to face 3 left-handed hitters in a row, 3 quick outs, and easy outs, too, for her infield.
The numbers in relief, we're starting to see a little bit more of this, more of a closer role in college softball. More of pitching staffs this year. We've seen a lot of that around the country. Three-1 lead, top of the 5th. This is Hattie Moore, so it's 3 straight righties here in the heart of the order. Fly out to left in the first, reached on an error in the third.
The staff for the Gators, the other thing I like about them is they're each so different. They have each other's backs. Krana Sturge was so effective in that regular season against Missouri. She Pitched 4 1/3 innings, did not give up a hit, and this was over 2 games. Actually got the win in game 3 because she was in when Hannah Adams hit that 3-run bomb in the 7th. A couple of strikeouts, a couple of walks.
Out of the zone, 3-1.
It's interesting too when you watch Chronister, you guys, she'll start that left foot all the way over on the left side of the pitcher's plate, but then she'll slide it and go all the way to the right side. Starts really narrow, but seems to like, a pitcher will usually like one side or the other, feel more comfortable. Of course, ideally you'd want to start just right down the middle, but clearly feeling more comfortable on that right side.
And it gives her a different angle to be able to do that, especially against righties.
I used to not like to start with my feet that narrow because it felt to me like it wasn't as big of a base. I would lose my balance sometimes, but also I was so scared of my back foot getting caught on my front cleat. It comes close, you can see it, and that's happened a couple of times when I was practicing too, is that you start to lift up that stride foot, but at the same time your front heel is lifting, and it will have a tendency to catch just a few times, but still, it's not pretty when that happens. You trip yourself going in an explosive, like fast movement.
Words of wisdom from the well-coordinated Amanda Scarborough, apparently. The footwork, but the walk here for Missouri. Oh my goodness, we've got it on tape. Look at the reach with that left foot.
Oh my gosh. I thought you guys were going to have me tripping in one of those games somehow. Our crew is just so good that Shirley would be like, on command, let's just roll up this clip real fast.
That's how we roll. No stone unturned. Cassidy Shomo, and now all of a sudden we've got the tying run at the plate for Missouri. They've gotten the leadoff on base 4 of the 5 innings today, but only able to get 1 run in back in the first. Generated by the first 4 batters of the game after Brooke Wilmus led off. She was driven in by Shomo with an infield grounder. That was all against the starter, Elizabeth Hightower. We started to talk about it a little bit earlier, and Coach Walton just reminded me of that, but the turnover of this roster the last several years. Terrific seniors that got them their first SEC championship of this run in 2018. They lost a few players, came back and won it again in 2019, and now almost completely turned over. I think there were 3 players, Matthews, Adams, and Hoover, that have been a part of the first 2, trying for a third. That is Hoover, right on cue, coming in to make the catch. 1 down as they go for an unprecedented 3rd title. Five championships, 1 more would pass Alabama and LSU. A 9th title game appearance that LSU still has the most with 11. And 9 trips to the Women's College World Series in the last 12 years with the 2 national championships. And while they may have their personal rivalries, or a team they really might want to beat a lot more than others, with the success of Florida and Alabama and playing in Alabama's house, you can't help but get the sense that Florida really wants to win this thing. And if they get to beat Alabama to do it,
Because Bama's the only team that's won at home. For them to be able to say they've done it twice, should they beat Tennessee? That's a big should. They still have that hurdle to get through.
That's our second semifinal coming up next. Tide and the Lady Vols.
Man, but at the same time, Missouri came here to win too. You know, Coach Larissa Anderson said, I want them to have a taste of a championship game, a team that didn't think they'd compete in the postseason last year in that shortened season. And their goal this season, you guys, was to finish in the top 4 in the SEC so that they could come here, have a bye, and then have a shortened way to get to that championship game.
There's your most wins all time. Alabama can actually get to that top spot with LSU before the weekend is through.
Kim Wirt having a good at-bat.
Yeah, the trend actually does favor a team like Missouri. 6 different SEC tournament champs in the last 10 years, and only one time has the top seed won it in the last 6 seasons. Wirt fouls off another.
She's getting them to chase a lot of pitches out of the zone. I know this is a 2-strike count, so you're protecting anything close, but just since she's entered the game, been able to use her drop ball, work lower in the zone, and just create a lot of ground balls, soft contact.
Wirt staying alive. Started out with Larissa Anderson at Hofstra, playing for a year there, and now a 3-year starter at Missouri. What Larissa loves about her, though, is she still plays with that mid-major mentality, even though she's in the SEC. 1 and 2, the second double play of the game for the Gator D.
The Gator defense, you guys, is just a well-oiled machine. Longley to Hannah Adams with the quick transfer to Gels. So beautiful, so quick, so well done.
Good morning.
More treatment.
We're gonna try something different today.
SEC's national championship trophies, a couple for Florida. The first one to Alabama in 2012. And is Montana Fouts going to get the start for the second night in a row? It's Alabama, Tennessee on deck. Right now, the Gators lead Missouri 3-1. The two powerhouses have met 4 times head-to-head for the SEC championship. Florida winning 3 of those. And Missouri and Tennessee trying to avoid that collision. Tennessee has a couple of championships. Missouri looking for their first. Lauren Krings has come on to keep the bats quiet here in relief. Hannah Adams, the top of the order for the Gators. Followed by Wilkie and Eccles and possibly Kendall Lindemann, who had the 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. Adams has pulled a couple of pitches right down the line to the first baseman. So she has yet to reach base. She has been safe in 34 consecutive games. Career starter, a member of the All-SEC defensive team. All-SEC first teamer again this year. One time she failed to reach base. She comes in with a 6-game hitting streak. And a whole bunch of multi-hit, multi-RBI games.
She hit that 3-run home run off Krings in the top of the 7th in Game 3 of the series, and actually hit it off the last pitch that Krings just threw her on the outside corner.
Is that why you cringed?
I did.
That was
I did.
Up here in the booth. Oh, she got her to pop up, and Adams 0 for 3 to start here for the Gators.
I really like the way that Krings competes. I mean, she just came out right away, made a difference in this game, and Missouri just hasn't quite been able to grab any momentum that she's helping create in the circle, honestly, with the swings and misses and soft contact that she's creating. She's looked good.
And I'm surprised she didn't get the start, because I think that would have set a different tone. Schumacher got hit hard early.
And the thing that's interesting about Coach Anderson and the staff, too, is that she's not scared to throw all 4 of her pitchers in one game. And in fact, she has each of them ready in a different role for every game. She openly communicates about it, has a starter, early relief, late relief, and a closer. And they know their role. They enter a game, and they know the expectation of them for that game.
That came in and hit Emily Wilkie. So we talked about her swinging at that 3-0 pitcher last time up and wasn't on base for the home run ball. Well, this time she is on base in front of Eccles and Lindemann.
It's like a rise ball that just comes in and clips her on the elbow pad.
Eccles hit into the double play in the first, then singled and scored in front of Lindemann on the home run in the 3rd.
And I think Schumacher was the only pitcher that did not pitch in the series against Florida, so maybe that was an opportunity to give her the start. Yeah, give a different look. So, and you know, it's that time of year. You want to make sure that every pitcher you throw out there is comfortable, is ready to go, because once you're out of this tournament, the next start's going to be the biggest of your career, more than likely.
Yep.
So true.
Eccles trying to pull one down the line fair, and it will drift foul.
She's such a pretty swing.
I know, every time.
Her barrel gets through and to the zone so quickly, and it just stays through. Both her and Lindemann are just so great at keeping that bat through the zone for so long, so at any point when that ball shows up, they are ready to just pound it.
That was a good pitch by Krings. Change up inside, just off the plate. Even better take by Eccles, who doesn't strike out a lot at all. Only 2 times all year, because she takes pitches like that with 2 strikes and trusts herself.
That one's in the dirt. Oh, Wilkie thought about it, probably should have, and then had to get back to the base.
I love the way she keeps the bat on her shoulder until the pitcher's ready.
Shomo tried to track it down, couldn't quite get there. The 12 home runs in the last 8 games, and now that we're into the 5th inning, that drop down, TV speak, 9 in the 5th inning or later. Some timely hitting.
Yeah, well, to me that translates into 3rd time through the lineup, and I've got a pretty good idea how I'm being called against. Could be a different pitcher, but a lot of times it's the same person calling pitches.
Gators are 4 for 7 today with runners on base. Eccles, foul ball after foul ball.
And good job on that changeup. Not fooled by it at all. Comes in about 59 miles an hour. Krings' hard stuff is right up around 70 miles an hour. So it's more of almost an off speed than a changeup. Changeups usually want to live in that 48 to 52 miles an hour. Off speeds will be about a 10 to 11 mile an hour difference. She telling him point? Oh no, it's putting him on the ears. Turn this way. Go left.
Eccles lays off, 3-2.
Gosh, just an impressive at bat. So fun to watch her every single time she steps up to the plate.
I don't know, and she has Lindemann coming right up behind her if she does walk.
Well, last night Lindemann homered and then Eccles did. Let's see if they follow suit again. Sends that the opposite way. Back it goes off the base of the wall on one hop. Wilkie being waved in. And Charlotte Eccles diving in safe at 3rd with a run-scoring triple. The power to take it the other way for Florida.
That ball, you guys, just kept carrying, and she's the type of hitter Charlotte Eccles is that you can tell. I mean, you get 3 strikes for a reason. So comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. Cassidy Shomo didn't take a great angle at all on this ball that went behind her. She broke the wrong way. It continued to travel away from her as it will with a left-handed hitter up. Wilkie goes in hard. Eccles, good backside running. She just gets her hand in there. A bang-bang play, but look at Florida taking this extra 60 feet, taking home for the extra 60 feet to score, and then Eccles moving herself closer into scoring.
Looks like they're going to call that an RBI double, although I'm not sure why. That wouldn't have been a triple, but we've got time to talk about it because there will be a coach's challenge here from Larissa Anderson in Missouri. They want the umpires to take a look at the play at the bag here at 3rd.
And yeah, it looks like she's safe to me.
Me too.
Well, and I think good job stretching out. And I think part of the reason they gave her a double is because the throw came home, all the way home. Shomo did not hit her cut.
That's right, yes.
And
yep.
You know, that's why you have to try to hit that cut. It's quicker at times.
This should be a pretty quick review, and it looks like it is. Tom Meyer, Cameron Ellison, Steve Gould, our umpires today.
You know, I don't hate the fact that you challenge it. You have
No.
2 challenges. It's
Great
late
call.
in this game, and it's an important runner or an important out in this inning.
I think that's a well-used challenge by
Yeah.
Coach Anderson. Very smart.
Had to come from the coach, by the way, because we are still in the 5th inning. After the 6th and beyond, then the umpires can go take a look at close plays if they want. Kendall Lindemann, the 2-run home run the last time she was up.
Just surprising to see Shomo make a couple of mistakes out in left field. She's
Yeah.
been so strong defensively.
She's on the all-defensive team.
Yeah.
in the SEC.
Lindemann getting a pitch on the inside corner, just steps open and drives this ball out of the yard. So much carry off the bat. Lindemann with a power surge as of late. As Coach talked about, her ability to barrel up the ball, keep the bat in the zone. That's where all that power comes from.
Couple of pitches, clipping the outside corner, 0-2. Eccles on third with the 1 out and a run in. Lindemann to work, checks the runner over to first, 2 down. And a chance for Jamie Hoover now. RBI opportunity. Well, great to see people again back out watching college softball here at the Rhodes House. Looks like there's still a few people out at the tailgate. They're filling up the Brickyard on a beautiful Friday afternoon. Good day to be out with some friends watching a little ball game. We got 2 of them for you tonight. 1-0 to Hoover. Rise upstairs. Strike at the top of the zone, 2-1. That's the story of the ball game thus far. Missouri hitless with a runner on in scoring position. They've stranded 7. Florida a lot better at that. 5 for 9 with runners on base.
It's always what the coaches talk about. Timely hitting. This time of year, that's how you win championships.
Speaking of timely hitting, Duke and FSU were playing top of the 7th. They had 2 on, nobody out, down by 1. Took the lead against Florida State 4-3. To your point, Michelle.
And Hoover draws the walk, runners on the corners. How many monitors you got over there, Scarborough?
Well, you know, it's mayhem, so I might or might not have 5 or 6 working.
We have 8 monitors between Scarborough and I. and then we can always dig up stuff on the phone. So that's actually 10.
You got texters. How about this James Madison score over Delaware in 5 innings, 17-0.
Wow.
For the hottest team in America, folks.
That'll be their 24th consecutive win.
That's Odyssey Alexander again.
Yeah. She's had a no-no, I believe, a couple days ago.
Home runs from Gordon and Newton. Wow.
That's another one of those
They are not hosting, so you don't want them knocking on your door with bats in hand. We watched them, a few years ago, go into Ann Arbor and knock off Michigan. How many hosts are we thinking, gang, from the SEC? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 8 names on that list.
Yeah.
Kentucky just beat Georgia. I would think that might, they split then their 4 games this season, but recently the Cats may get the nod.
So it's 6 or 7. Could it be 8? Could it be half of the
half
of the field coming from the SEC?
Wow.
Ooh.
7.
I think 7 is probably probably the number there. You're talking probably 5 from the Pac-12, so that's already 12 of the 16.
But it could be, you know, the
runner goes, the throw down to second, and that will allow Eccles to walk it in. The first and third, and they bait the throw down to second base, and it's costly for Missouri.
Very costly. You always have to be on your toes when Florida is in a position to be at first and third, and that throw down almost hits Krings in the head. So Hattie Moore throwing down, trying to get the ball to Kendall Bailey, but double steal for Florida puts another run up on the board. But real quick, back to your point, Beth, about the hosts. Could it be the Big Ten just having one opportunity in Michigan that it bumps the opportunities for the SEC as a conference up? I don't know, it'll be interesting.
Michigan, the regular season champs, playing their final series this weekend. The grounder to short, and that will end the inning. But 2 more runs on the board for the Gators and a 5-1 lead.
So, you said only we at Left Twix could put cookies and cream in Twix? This is a right Twix.
Excuse me.
Twix, cookies and cream.
If you enjoy wasting time, is it really wasted?
If there's an exception to every rule, is there an exception to that rule?
Why is it called a pineapple when it's not pine or apple?
I just work at a fruit stand.
What if we made the first thing you want other drivers to notice unnoticeable until poof, they turn on?
Question everything. We did. It's your journey in the all-new Hyundai Tucson. Our best Tucson ever.
Hello. I'm the new guy. Tell me about this epic stuffed crust pizza.
It's made with fresh, never frozen dough, hand stuffed with cheese.
Good job. All right, you called me. It is me.
No, I knew it was you.
Let me hear you say epic stuffed crust.
Epic stuffed crust!
The last 3 weeks, they just come up with timely hit after timely hit. They're dangerous.
I mean, come on, guys. Are we surprised that it's Charlotte Eccles and Kendall Lindemann? Come on.
I know you're not surprised. We'll see you guys at the conclusion of this one, ladies. Back to you.
Madison Shipman and the girl crush on Eccles is just, it's gone viral this weekend at the SEC tournament. Of course, Shipman and Bro out there, they've been a part of championship teams at the SEC tournament, now in our 24th year.
You think we're going to have to keep them separated for the nightcap game here?
I wonder.
In their own rooms?
Well,
or?
I think Eccles has already been out there once for a post-game interview. So.
No, I meant Bro and Madison.
Bro and Madison.
The Alabama game.
There's going to be a
Bro
Maddie.
I hope there's a steel cage out there, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I'd like to see somebody off the top
Someone
buckle.
slam someone else down.
Off the top buckle.
Okay, it'll be a war of words. How about that?
Yes, we don't condone
violence.
Any kind of. This is Kayla Kessinger. It is a 5-1 Gator lead. Kessinger, Robbie, and Bailey due up. When you think of some of the legends of the game that have been a part of this over the last 24 years, 3 players have been the MVP twice. Brittany Sneed, LSU. Christian Smith. I think one of the only players ever to be an MVP of the SEC tournament and the World Series without winning the championship that particular season.
Yep.
And then who do you think is the most recent two-time winner?
Amanda Lorenz.
The grounder to short. One down. No, that would be incorrect. I'll let you think about that. No Google machines, people. That'll give us a chance to take care of some business right here and remind you that the FCS Division I Football Championship, Sam Houston State, South Dakota State, Sunday afternoon on ABC at 2 Eastern. Oh, I can hear, I'm in a different room, I can hear the gears moving in the heads next door. It's within the last 6 years. I'll say that.
Okay.
Two-time SEC tournament MVP. The only teams that have played and won 2 in a row would be Florida, LSU, and Auburn.
Oh, this is hard.
I'll even give you Auburn, but it's still going to be tough to pick which Auburn player it would be.
Casey Cooper.
No, that would have been your first guess, right? But no.
Carasone.
Carasone it is. Emily Carasone gets a mention on the program. 2 down as Longley takes care of business.
Gosh, it's been a while since Missouri's gone ahead, it feels like.
Yeah, Chronister.
Got to go back to Kim Wirt in the 3rd. They've had a couple of base runners with walks. The Florida defense has erased opportunities with 2 double plays from their infield today.
Yeah, Chronister hasn't given up a hit yet. She's been efficient, just 1 walk, and it's exactly what she did to Missouri back at the end of April in their series.
I think the tally is 6 groundouts. And the 1 fly out so far. Oh, there's a deep fly ball. Kendall Bailey gone. 1 home run shy of the single season school record. That's their 81st as they try and creep back in it.
You know, Coach Anderson calls Kendall Bailey one of the unsung heroes for this Missouri team. She completely sells out for the inside pitch, steps open, backs off the plate a little bit. This pitch is off the plate inside, but she's still able to get her barrel there. This is a great sign of adjustments for Missouri. Katie Chronister continuing to throw that curveball inside of these right-handed hitters, and Kendall Bailey barreling it up and giving Missouri the 2nd run.
You know, when your number 8 hitter has hit her 7th home run of the year, you've got some power all through the lineup.
Well, that's got things rolling a little bit in the Missouri dugout now. Megan Ma will be the pinch hitter here, bottom of the order.
There it is, what we were talking about earlier, just the first hit allowed.
Wow.
Up against Missouri in 6 and 2/3 innings. And one of the reasons why is I love the adjustments that Chronister makes. As you mentioned, typically the hitter will move off the plate knowing a lefty curve is coming in at them. So remember, you want to throw inside to the batter, not inside to the plate. And as the batter moves off the plate, if you're going to try to get underneath their hands, you've got to throw to the batter, not to the plate.
Chronister, who has come on in relief of Hightower, and now I think there's some more activity going on.
They've really struggled with the bottom of the order, the 8 and 9 hole hitters for this Missouri lineup. I mean, gave up that home run to the 8 hole and then fall behind 2-0 to the 9 hole.
Oh, there's the home run Panama hat. You get to wear that after you go yard.
I think I like that better than the chain.
Well, it's more practical on a sunny day like today.
That's my point, exactly. Just, you know, kind of shades the eyes.
It doesn't have the same drip quality of the chain. That was Natalie Lugo, by the way, who came back in from the bullpen and would appear to be ready to go if need be. This is a first at-bat for Megan since late March, the sophomore out of Eureka, Missouri. And that's a good at-bat right there. Number 9 walks, so there have been 4 walks issued to the 8-9 batters from the Florida pitchers. And a home run ball, but that 1 run so far has been the only damage. The others have been stranded. Top of the order for Wilmus. These next two, the microcosm of this roster, the combination of the Midwesterners like Wilmus and the New Yorkers that Larissa Anderson knew from her time at Hofstra. Layered on deck from East Meadow, New York, and they have blended so nicely for the Tigers. Wilmus, and back after it is Hoover now coming in to make the play. They get 1 back on the home run from Kendall Bailey. And a 5-2 Florida lead, Smitty.
How about Kendall Bailey just opening up on an inside pitch and sending that yard? Her 7th of the year puts another run up on the board for the Tigers.
I feel bad for kicking your seat on purpose.
We should have just told you it's a boy.
I wish you didn't have to hear all that. I promise I will not eat any more of your friends.
Really?
Okay, it might happen one more time.
Bailey Goddard, 7-8-9 due up. And then the last chance for Missouri in the 7th would be their 2-3-4 hitters. So not out of it yet with their home run hitters due up. Goddard drove in a run in the 2nd. Base hit through the left side, struck out in the 4th. Still have Alabama and Tennessee coming up. Told you about Oklahoma State's win over Texas today. Oklahoma bashed its way to another win, 3 home runs today. And how about the Atlantic Coast Conference Championship game? It will be Clemson versus Duke. Wow. 2 programs that weren't even around 5 years ago. The Dukies shocked Florida State today. And Val Cagle beat Keely Rochard in a good pitcher's duel. Clemson over Virginia Tech.
they split that regular season series too between Duke and Clemson. Duke won 2, Clemson won 2 in the lovely 4-game series that we saw this season.
Oh, yeah.
The coaches love it as much as we do.
I just hate that you can't, like, if you split,
yeah,
you don't really know who won the series. You know?
Exactly.
Yep.
American Athletic, by the way, their semifinals. UCF is leading South Florida in the 7th by a run. Regular season champion Wichita State and Tulsa coming up later. And there's our run of 4 championship games for you tomorrow, starting at noon. And culminating right back here at the Rhodes House with the SEC final. Selection Sunday tomorrow night. Our 7 Innings Podcast Selection Special will follow that. It all starts at 9 Eastern on ESPN2 and then over on the U for the 2nd hour. Goddard lifts that one out to center. Williams has it, 1 down.
Shortstop number 52, Sarah Longley.
Next up is the shortstop, Sarah Longley. Oh, right back at Krings, who stabs it out of the air. 2 down.
Wow. Wow, Krings extremely fortunate that she ends up with her glove in front of her, and that as a pitcher, that's always where you want to be. After you release that ball, that glove needs to be in front of your body for this reason right there. Now this ball has hit at her so hard, I don't even think she knew it was in there because it looked like she was starting to run. Wow.
Whew. Hot shot.
And talking about her glove, Michelle, you just see right there, it does stay in front of her body, and it's just reaction at that point. It's just, you're throwing your glove up to a thing that you see flying at you.
I almost think it's that involuntary reaction.
Yes.
It's that fight or flight. Your body's just taking care of itself. She didn't really even realize her arm was going up in that direction to protect herself. I have to reach way back into the back of my brain and go, is that parasympathetic nervous system, something like that. One of those things back from when I was going to go to medical school. It's like the body just does it. Woo!
Skies that one out to left. Catch is made. Med School can't beat a day like today, Smitty. Sitting by the diamond at the Rhodes House at the SEC tournament. The Rhodes House to the SEC Softball Championship. Winding down Florida 3 outs away from moving on to the championship tomorrow. Still to come tonight, Tennessee and Alabama. So it's rally cap time here for the Tigers. As you see, co-pitcher of the year, Montana Fouts, hydrating. We saw her throwing a few pitches earlier. She could get the nod for the second day in a row. I would guess there might be just a smidge of pressure right on the Alabama side to win a show for the home folks and win it in your own place. They are the only team to do that back in 2012 with Caleb Rowe and a host of others.
They're playing so well right now, too.
11 straight. The last team to beat them was Florida. Okay, so here we go with Missouri. Laird, Moore, and Shomo, heart of the order. Trying to keep their hopes alive. They are in very good shape resume-wise to stay in Como for at least the regionals, possibly the supers if they can keep winning. We'll find out Sunday night.
They just haven't gotten that big hit today. They've had some chances, and Florida pitching, the defense has been able to shut them down. And even Brooke Wilmes coming up several times with runners in scoring position. She herself is 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. Just unusual with the type of hitter that she is, the leadoff hitter from Missouri.
Yeah, I think the second and third innings, they left 2 on base, and the second bases loaded in the third, and kind of took the wind out of their sails when they didn't get the big bop that they needed. The double play in the second shut things down.
Well, Katie Chronister has their number, let's be honest. I mean, just one hit that she's given up in, what, 7 innings of work against him this year, Michelle?
Well, Florida's, they are that prototypical Florida team that has good pitching in the circle. The defense behind them is outstanding. And, when you talk to Coach Walton, that's what he talks about first and foremost, is his pitching and his defense. And then eventually his offense will put runs up on the board. And you have leadership like Hannah Adams and Eccles, and they get it done. And a big bop by Lindemann.
Yeah, and that helps too. Here you go, Gators. You flex in that dugout. Bryn Thomas. And when you've won 9 regular season championships and 5 tournament championships, you can muscle up a little bit, sure. Nobody's won more. Oh, got Laird to reach. 1 down. First strikeout from Chronister.
Well, and you're exactly right. She does reach. That's a curveball that's just going to run away from her. Front foot's down, really long stride, and just reaches out. Chronister gets her really extended, both in her legs and in her barrel. Gets her to whiff at the curve.
Number 3 hitter, Hattie Moore.
Just interesting because this Missouri team can have good plate discipline, and we saw it against Elizabeth Hightower, who started the game for Florida, but Chronister comes in and they're chasing so much out of the zone, whether it's down or off the plate. It's a totally different looking team with her in the circle.
Out to right center on the run and able to make the catch. Cheyenne Lindsay, 2 outs.
Hattie Moore has some good power, Michelle, and Cheyenne Lindsay starts to the left of second base and runs a long way for this ball and had to communicate with their right fielder, Goddard, because that would have been 2 colliding players without the communication going hard, trying to catch that second out. Good play by Cheyenne Lindsay to cover some ground.
Well, Hattie Moore is still at home plate with a bat in her hand, and Larissa Anderson was talking to the umpire. Was there contact with the catcher's mitt?
I think so. With the ball traveling that far, I'm
Yeah.
almost wondering if it's a.
We've got a replay of it. Let's see what happens here on the swing. Oh. Glove off the hand of Wilkie.
I always thought that catcher's interference had to be going forward, not on the backside.
That's not a reviewable play this weekend. It's interesting too, because if they did think that it was catcher's interference, then you would have thought that Coach Anderson would have told Hattie Moore to go stand at first base, because in that case you get the base, right?
Well, now Tom Meyer is going to go back out to talk with Steve Gould, and here comes Cameron Ellison. So another issue may have popped up here.
Oh.
Yep.
Huh.
I was going to ask him
to
talk about it.
There are 14 different plays that are reviewable, and but after the swing and after the ball left the bat, I'm not quite sure what they would be reviewing here. It's not a scoring play or a timing play.
Well, if it is catcher's interference, I do believe they get first base.
Yes.
So, and typically you're allowed to let the play turn out, and so if it's a negative outcome for the offensive team, you can ask for it.
Okay, so that play is not even reviewable. You're going to be out.
Right.
Yeah, so she will be out. That is not on the list of reviewable plays. All right, so we're set to go. It's 2 outs down to their final chance here in the top of the 7th, and a 5-2 Florida lead. Experimenting with the replay review here at the SEC tournament. Won't be around for the NCAA tournament, but the hope is that moving forward we would be able to have that capabilities, at least in the postseason. Cassidy Shomo, number 4 hitter, drove in a run back in the first. Katie Chronister trying to close this out for the Gators. Keep alive their hopes for a three-peat. One-two pitch. Wilkie tried to frame it. He's done a nice job behind the plate for Julia Cottrell, who's out with an illness. That is laced over the head of Lindsay. And Shomo keeps the Tigers alive. Trying to start the rally on 2. Here comes Kim Wirt.
Shomo is able to stay in her legs and get her barrel down to that pitch, just starting to understand the scouting report on Chronister and that you can have more of a posture that's bent over like that lower in the zone because that's where she's going to throw. Just complete opposite of what they faced with Allie Kilponen yesterday for LSU, more up in the zone.
Wirt, 16 home runs, 46 runs batted in this year. Just got out in front of that. Sent that a long way. Foul. One-on-one. Two and one.
Wirt really drops that bat head and pulls through.
And now their final strike.
I think these Alabama fans are like, all right,